Okay, people, welcome to Kung Fu Heaven number 2. It is Sunday, the 23rd of July, 2017. So every now and again, this hot buzz pops up on my phone with some disturbing shit. And today I'm going to talk to y'all about a few things that have pissed me off for the day. The first thing, this asshole right here. Excuse me, I can't really call him an asshole because I'm actually an asshole and this guy kind of makes us all look bad. But anyway, this guy left a 5-year-old girl on the side of the road after attempting to feed her to alligators on I-75. Now, I don't know how much Top Buzz is actually true or not, but they're quite fully on point with some of the things, because they were on point with the guy from Soundgarden, they were on point with the guy from My Hybrid Theories, Linkin Park, and they've been on point with a lot of things. So, like I said, I don't know how much of this is true, and I'm just reading into this, and I'm sitting here and I'm thinking to myself, Harold Bradley kidnapping a 5-year-old and leaving her to die on the side of Interstate 75, where she was eaten alive by alligators. 11 jurors believe Bradley should have been put to death. Only one disagrees. Now, here's where my assholeness comes in. I think he should be drawn and quartered. I think that's what they call it when they chain you to the 4 horses and pull your ass piece by piece. But anyway, yes, that's kind of evil, so I'm sorry. But, we don't really have a place on this earth for people like that who just, you're kidnapping a kid for one, someone who can't defend themselves, so that automatically makes you an asshole. Now, moving on to the next story on that. Apparently, this Texas grandmother who was freed from Obama, or freed by Obama, waiting for the yellow line. For those who can't see, waiting for the yellow line. Well, apparently, she was pardoned by the president that left. Okay, it says, Texas grandma, y'all can't read this shit because it's a white page. No, matter how far back I get it, apparently it's still going to be a white page. Texas grandmother freed by Obama, heading back to prison. In March 2016, Barack Obama granted Carol Denise Richardson a communications of a life sentence. She received in June the 26th, June 2006, after being convicted of 2 counts of conspiring to distribute crack cocaine to other drug-related charges, long criminal history, blah, 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 blah. Alright, so I don't really understand how the hell they can unfree her from a presidential pardon, but apparently this is happening in Alabama. And on July 26, Richardson served a 10-year sentence and a condition that she would be released and remain under court supervision for the next 10 years. But less than a year later, on April the 13th, okay, I see where this is going. She done fucked up, apparently. Richards was arrested in Houston suburb Pasadena for allegedly stealing $60 worth of laundry detergent. That's a lot of damn laundry detergent. She planned to buy drugs since her relapse. Okay, well, maybe she shouldn't have fucked up. Maybe she needs to go to rehab instead of back to jail. Now 49, lives in Galveston, blah, 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 has 4 children, grandchildren. I'm not going to give their names. Somebody's 37. I don't understand what the hell that means. But the district judge, Kay Ellison, voiced disappointment in Richardson, blah, blah, blah. He has ordered her back to prison for 14 months to be followed by a 5-year. Okay, well, in that situation, he's not throwing the book at her. So, kind of got to let that go. Now, if you're on my Facebook, then you ought to know that I did something earlier which I need to touch on now. Because I've been there, and I posted it on my Facebook. I got it off of YouTube. Shopping while black. Now I'm going to tell y'all why I'm touching on that. Because I've been there in my teens and in my adulthood. I have been there to where I can't go shopping because somebody else of color has done some shit and we all fit the fucking description. Now, granted, I have a ponytail and my skin color is truly high yellow, and I don't typically look like a stereotypical black person because I am multicultural, that being Cherokee Indian, black, and white. Now, am I always proud of these ethnicities? Probably not, especially when we do something stupid like the DC sniper thing. Well, anyway, so many times ago in my youth, I have been followed around by store detectives because some actually had badges, and I've been followed around by store clerks who just assumed that I have no money. And one time, I was before I even worked at Sears, I've had problems with Sears. So one time I was walking at Sears. It couldn't have been more than maybe 15 or 16. I was old enough to drive. I don't even know what the fuck I was shopping for. In fact, I didn't even buy the item because this person who worked there followed me all the way around the entire fucking store. I think I was looking for like a radio or some shit. I don't know what the fuck I was looking for. Either a Walkman or a tape recorder, because at the time Sears had everything. So, you couldn't find it anywhere. You could find it at Sears. And now, with their reluctance to stay in business due to everybody going online shopping and shit, join the bandwagon's all I can tell them. But, so I'm going around Sears, and I've been in the store maybe 15 minutes trying to find what I'm looking for. But instead of asking me, do I need help, they're following me around, and then finally, the one that's been following me like for the longest time, after she got back up, and she goes, not in a politeful manner, do you need some help? And I was like, well, first off, you should know that I actually have a job because I was working at Kettler's at the time, and I actually have money. I came in the store with money in my hand, expecting to spend it. But since you're following me around the store thinking that I'm going to steal some shit, while the 5 people that didn't get followed have probably stole everything that you were looking for me to steal, I have money. I have a job. I have money to pay for my shit. But since you spent the last 15 minutes and some change following me around, I'm going to take my business elsewhere. Because there's no point in me trying to spend my hard-earned money in your store if you think that I'm going to fucking steal shit. You can follow me to the door if you like. I haven't been following you. Now, there's nothing worse than someone who looks you dead in the face. And we didn't have these things. We had pagers if you were fortunate enough to be able to afford one. I couldn't afford that shit either. But, we didn't have cell phones. So I called her out on it. I was like, well, you've been following me for 15 minutes. You think I'm blind? He's like, well, you don't have eyes in the back of your head. I said, you do not know if I have eyes in the back of my head. But what I do have is a sixth sense of knowing when someone's fucking following me. I said, and you have been following me since I walked through those double doors up there at the mall entrance. Not the main entrance, but at the mall entrance. I said, you've been following me through the men's department, through the weight department, through this technology department, and now I don't want to spend my money here. I said, so you can take it up with your manager on why the fuck did you just cost them some money. I said, maybe you're the only store that has what I'm looking for. And now I'm going to have to spend this money somewhere in like Richmond or something. So now I'm going to have to spend twice as much money because now I have to drive all the way to Richmond to buy the item that I could have just got here for like $40. But you're following me around like I'm going to steal it. This is $100. I worked very hard at washing dishes so that I could spend my money in your store. But now I'm not going to spend my money in your fucking store because you are an asshole. And you're following me around. And just because you're pretty doesn't mean that a guy's not going to notice. An ugly guy like me is not going to notice a pretty girl, a white girl, following me around. You don't want my phone number. Clearly I'm too young. So obviously you think I'm about to steal some shit. But you didn't think about the white people that came in behind me or the Asian people that came in. You just seen a black guy with $100 bill in his hand. But you don't count that as money when it's in a black man's hand. You just think that I'm going to go steal shit, but I have money to purchase. So after that, I left the store. I didn't buy whatever the fuck I was buying. In fact, to this day, I don't remember what the hell I was buying, but I know I didn't get it, and I sure as hell didn't drive to Richmond to get it because I didn't know how to drive to Richmond. But I put my money in my pocket. I never felt so bad. And the fact that this kid just put this up on YouTube disturbed me so much that I had to make this video. Because I'm sitting there like, that shit still happens. We had surveillance in the store before I worked there. And you would think that a person who's walking into a store, you would think that they would know that just about every store on earth now has cameras in it. With all the crime shows with CCTV, you would think that committing a crime would be the last thing on someone's mind when they go into a store. So then they had other things on the same video about all the racist events and shit like that. They were racist at the football game or the baseball game, and they were racist to some Chinese people. They were racist to more Chinese people. They were racist to everybody. And I'm like, God, man. So my next video, I'm going to address racism. I don't know how I'm going to address it, but I'm going to address it, and it's going to come up next.